Castello di Amorosa is a winery located in the city of Calistoga, which is in the world-renowned wine region, the Napa Valley. There are many perks for a winery to be located in the Napa Valley. For instance, in a viticulture standpoint, one has the opportunity to grow some delicious grape clusters from multiple grape varieties. With modern and proper fermentation techniques, a winery has the opportunity to produce some high-quality wines. Castello di Amorosa uses this advantage to its full extent. Now, in a business standpoint, because the Napa Valley offers great wines, fine dining, and beautiful scenery, this attracts many tourists around the world to visit the Napa Valley. Wineries can use this to their advantage by focusing on the hospitality side of the industry. Castello di Amorosa attracts tourists by having a unique castle, but also by its location. Being the northernmost winery on Highway 29, Castello di Amorosa is either the first winery to visit, which will set the bar to its competitors, or it can also be the last winery, and it will leave the final impression on its tourist. However, for a winery to be located in the Napa Valley is not always an easy ride. There are multiple external factors that can hurt the winery. For example, frost is known to be a huge issue in the Napa Valley. This will destroy grape yield, and without having much grapes, you're not going to be able to produce much wine, and this will hurt profits.
And about 20 years ago, the Castello di Amorosa has been built. The castle sits on 170 acres, and through those acres it has a forest and beautiful hills which the stream runs through, not to mention the lake that sits beside it, which brings such beautiful calming scenery that captures the eye and the mind. Dario Sati was always fascinated with the Italian medieval architecture. By 1994, that was when he found Fritz Golber from Austria. They both were interested into creating the castle's stones with medieval stones. He founded Lord Namskov, who had taught both Don and Fritz how to rebuild their castle with medieval techniques. Now, when you go visit the castle, you would see it's full with Italian-style stones. But not only that, the Italian stones are also done up with the medieval technology.
Castello di Amorosa primarily produces Italian-style wines while keeping in mind the climate, soil, and growing conditions of California. The target market of this producer of wine is middle to upper class adults, primarily middle-aged. On site and online, there is a wide product assortment that includes wines, grape juice, and grapeseed oil products. Within each assortment, there are different product lines. Under wine, you may purchase white, rose, sweet, and/or red wines. Depending on your taste, you may buy an individual product, such as the 2012 Pinot Blanco, a white wine, or a 2012 Merlot Napa Valley, a red wine. The growth of the grapes used in the production of all of Castello di Amorosa's products takes place purely on hillsides, forcing the grapes to be hand-picked. This leads to a higher quality grape and in turn a higher quality wine. Castello di Amorosa takes great strides in sustainable approaches in the farming of their product. Each bottle of wine is packaged with a wax seal, which is purely for promotional purposes. The bottles themselves will vary in shape and color depending on the individual product as well as the label.
Once the grapes are picked, fermented, and bottled, it's time to sell the wine. Castello di Amorosa wines are only sold at 3 locations. I have a question for you. What would you like to brag about? You buying an item at Disney store or Disneyland? Obviously, Disneyland sounds better. The same way goes to wine. Would you like to brag buying it at a food store or at a castle? a castle is the way to go, which is the main location for Castello di Amorosa wine. It pleases the customers by giving them the total package of visiting a castle and buying wine. Another location is online, which is easier and faster for all consumers across America to buy wine without traveling to Castello di Amorosa winery. The third location is at selected restaurants. This is excellent for consumers to pair the wine with their favorite foods. This is marketing mix. However, Castello di Amorosa is hurting their chances of reaching new consumers by not using all chains possible. For example, markets, stores such as Safeway or Trader Joe, also small wine shops. So word of mouth about the winery is crucial for success.
Castello di Amorosa prices most of their bottles of wine between $21 to $50. However, there are some reserve cellar bottles that sell for a much higher price of $45 to $195. They offer quantity discounts for selling by the case as well. At these sets of price ranges, the company's pricing objective seems to be profit-oriented. The tours of the castle are not very cheap at $34 per person and $44 for upgraded reserve tasting. General admission to the castle is $19 per person and $29 for upgraded reserve tasting. There are many other additional pairing benefits that can be added to the tastings that appear to be set for a high profit margin, such as cheese and meat pairing, which are $15 each. The winery has a one-price policy, as it sells all the wines online and on-site to everyone for the same price, although they may sell at a discount to restaurants that buy and sell their wine.
One of the ways the winery promotes wines is through wine clubs. The different wine clubs offer red, white, rose, Chardonnay, and sweet wines. All of these wines are either shipped 4 times a year, 6 times a year, or monthly. There are either 2 or 3 bottles shipped each time. Each of these wine clubs get the Amici del Barone benefits. The wine clubs range from $60 to $145. Being a part of these wine clubs gives the members discounts on special events held every few months. Cinque Cento Cavalieri dinner is a special dinner that celebrates the fruits of the harvest. This dinner is only for Cinque Cento members. The winery describes it as a candlelit dinner for royalty. This event the members don't need to pay for. To be a Cinque Cento Cavalieri member, you must make a one-time purchase of $3,000 renewed annually. There is also seasonal promotions during Thanksgiving. Buyers can save up to 20% on all wines. They will save 10% on orders of $200 or more, save 15% of orders of $400 or more, save 20% on orders of $600 or more.
Mi piace anche di più che ti sveglio, ti bacio e poi ti riaddormenti, non subito però, solo dopo un po'. Vorrei poterti dare quello che mi manca, vorrei poterti dire quello che non so, vorrei che questa pagina tornasse bianca per scriverci ti amo, punto. Vorrei che questa pagina tornasse bianca per scriverci ti amo. Benedetto ritardo che ci ha fatto incontrare il giorno in cui avrei dovuto essere puntuale. Loro aspettano ancora ma io ho cambiato programma da quando nella vita ci sei tu. E ti scappo e ti inseguo e poi ci raggiungiamo. È un tango inesorabile la nostra melodia.